Hi everyone, it's Terry here from nutsaboutsstamping.com. In today's video, I'm going to show you a super cute treat holder idea that I am creating with my Poinsettia Petals stamp set and my stitched nested labels dies. I want to say that my treat holder is going to be Christmas themed because Christmas is just around the corner. But once you know how to make these treat holders, you can apply it to a variety of occasions and just have a lot of fun using up leftover pieces of designer series paper. I'm going to start off by doing some stamping and die cutting. So I'm going to get sort of the embellishments ready for the front of my treat holder, and then I'll walk you through step by step on how to make it. So from the Poinsettia Petals stamp set, I've got the Happy Holidays phrase, and I'm going to ink it up using Night of Navy, and then I'm going to die cut it out. There we go. I'll clean that in a minute. Now I'm also using one of my Stitched Stars dies. Here's the pack, and there's one of the Stitched Stars, but I'm using a much smaller one. And I'm going to use a leftover piece of my copper foil sheet. So I'm going to die cut those together. I'll bring in my Big Shot. And I just bought some new cutting plates for my Big Shot. And actually, these are the ones that belong to the new Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. So if you're wondering if these plates also fit your Big Shot, if you have a Big Shot from days gone by, yes they do. So that was very exciting for me to discover this week. So I've got my star and my phrase, and I'm just going to run it through. Okay, and there is my phrase. I think it's so pretty with the stitching around it. It just adds a touch of elegance. And then my star also has the stitched detail around it. I hope you can see it in the video. All right, so I've got those ready, and now let's have some fun making the treat holder. I've decided that my treat holder is going to be using a leftover piece of the Brightly Gleaming designer series paper. So I've cut it 6 inches by 4 inches. And if you have a Simply Scored, this would be really handy to pull it out right now because you're going to do several scores on this. You're going to score. So I've got the long side laid up against the corner of my Simply Scored. You're going to score it at 1/2, then you're going to score it at 1, and then at 1 1/2, and then you're going to score it at 3 1/4, 3 3/4, and 4 1/4. Just move that out of the way so I can see it. All right, so let me go over that again so it's clear for you. You're going to score at 1/2, 1, 1 1/2, 3 1/4, 3 3/4, and 4 1/4. And then you're going to turn it and you're going to do one last score at the 1 inch mark and score it all the way down. Okay, maybe you can see the score lines. I think you can on here. So that's all you're going to do. So you can see how quick and easy it would be to do several of these. And then bring in your bone folder, and what you're going to do is you're going to burnish, or you're going to make sure that the scores are all nice and crisp. So you're going to score along these, or burnish along all of these lines. And then you're going to need some of your paper snips. Okay, and here's another one. And here's the final one. And then just to firm it up. All right, so I've got all of these nicely scored. like so. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to bring in your paper snips, and on this end, the real skinny end, so you've got one that's quite wide and you've got one that's quite skinny. What you want to do is you want to cut the tab off the end, the skinny end, okay? So this is going to be a tab that holds the whole little treat holder closed. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut up, and I just do like a tiny little triangle on these. There's one more cut, like so. So you've cut off the tab, you've cut here, and you've cut here. And now what we're going to do is bring in some tear and tape adhesive, put the adhesive on the treat holder, and then we'll put it together. I've attached tear and tape adhesive to this tiny tab, and then this one up the side. And now what we're going to do is we're going to peel off the covers and put it together. I've peeled off the adhesive, and now it's time to fold it all together. So I'm going to start with the bottom, and I'm going to tuck that in, and I'm going to tuck this in. And then I am going to put one more piece of tear and tape on the inside, just so that the whole bottom of my treat container is reinforced. So I'll take that off. I've got the tear and tape off of there. I'm just going to fold it around like so, and then I'm going to close up the side like so. And there we have a super cute little treat holder. Now there's these scores on the side, and they are meant to push in on both sides like so. And there we have a super cute treat holder. So let's go ahead with the next step and decorate it. So I've brought in my phrase, I've brought in my star, and what I'm going to do is use some leftover Stampin' Dimensionals from the end pieces of the sheet, and I am going to attach the Happy Holidays in the center of my box like that. And then to add my star, I'm going to use a mini Stampin' Dimensional and add my star to the phrase. And I think I will put it at a little bit of an angle like so. Now, to hold my treat holder closed, obviously I would put whatever the little gift is that I want to pop inside. Maybe some loose candies or some wrapped candies, or I don't know, maybe a beautiful diamond necklace. It depends on what you want to put inside. But I have some of the Playing with Patterns ribbon combo pack. I bought that ribbon combo pack, and there's a strip of Night of Navy ribbon. So what I'm going to do is I am going to tie my treat holder shut using a piece of ribbon. And for those of you that live alone like I do, I have a really fun little tip. It's really hard when you're trying to close up a box or a bag and you don't have that extra set of hands, so that when you go to tie your knot, right, it's going to slip a little bit or loosen. So what I do is I use one of my mini glue dots, and I take it off of the sheet, and I just pop it in the center where I think I want my knot to be. And then what happens is, let me lay my ribbon down. You can tie that first knot and then press it down onto the glue dot, and that will hold it in place so that you are ready to go with finishing up the other part of your knot. So I'll do that, and then I'll show you the final product and 2 other treat holders that I made so that you end up with 3 different ideas. And there we go. The treat holder is done and ready to give to somebody special. Now there's so many uses for these. You could, I envision if I was fortunate enough to have family that live in my home and we were going to celebrate Christmas dinner together, I could pop one of these on each place setting around the table. Or you can, here's another idea. So this little treat holder uses another sheet of the Brightly Gleaming Designer Series paper, and I took the phrase from the Christmas Gleaming stamp set. These are retiring, by the way. This cardstock or this Designer Series paper and the stamp set and the punches are retiring. Makes me so sad. What I did was I took my paper piercing tool and I pierced a hole through the treat bag, and then I took some twine, and you could hang it on your Christmas tree. So you could make a variety of these and hang them on your tree. I think that would make a lovely decoration. And then the final one was I used a piece of the Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper and the Trimming the Town Designer Series paper. And I cut out this little house using my paper snips, and then I cut out one of the phrases from the Trimming the Town Designer Series paper pack and added that. And I popped up the little house using a Stampin' Dimensional. So you can see that there are a variety of ways that you can make, or a variety of designs and occasions that you can make these little treat bags for. If you'd like a listing of the supplies that I used and the measurements and the score line dimensions for this little treat bag, hop on over to my blog, www.nutsaboutsstamping.com. While you're on my blog, consider subscribing to my free newsletters. I send 2 newsletters a week, and in each one, you'll see a project that you won't find anywhere else. I'm Terry. I am Nuts About Stamping. I hope you'll create a sweet treat bag today too. Bye for now.